There's something else to consider too. When you are in a survival situation, and we are going back a little bit to the fight, flight, freeze response, your digestive system and your immune system quickly shut down. They are no longer necessary. What is necessary is to feed the hindbrain as well as your big muscles. So really, during the early parts, your digestive system's not even really working properly anyway. Once you get things under control, you may actually find you have an appetite back, which is great. Okay, this is a good plant. This one is probably one of the most important survival plants in terms of food, medicine, and a variety of other things. But let's just take a look at the food first. And this plant, it's important to get it right because it looks very similar to another one that you'll find in an area. And I'm going to tell you, actually let me show you, the best way to tell it apart. When we start pulling it apart, we should get, you see that stringy stuff coming out? That should tell you that it's plantain when it pulls apart and you've got all this stringy stuff coming out.
So what do I eat?
You can eat pretty much any part of this plant. I'll be honest with you, Ralph, we could sit here for about 2 or 3 hours while I tell you everything medicinally about this plant.
But I'm starving.
Yeah, okay, well, let's get on to the eating part. I know we've been out here for a while. Okay, so this is very ripe, and I'm gonna get you to focus on this one. I'm gonna focus on this one. And what we're gonna do is, you see how I hold my hand like this? You can do it like that, or just with your fingers. And we're gonna scoop up, and I'm gonna use my other hand underneath as well. All right, so you'll notice you got all kinds of different stuff going on in there. Now what I want to do is I want to rub my hands around a little bit. You see the little tiny black seeds?
Yeah.
That's what we want. Now I'm going to very gently blow, very gently, because I want this brown fluffy stuff away. And do the same thing. Doesn't hurt if you get a little bit in there. Now, having a little bit left in is okay. A little fiber in our diet won't hurt us. Now this stuff you could grind it between rocks to make a flour. It's very similar to psyllium fiber, very similar to chia seeds, which are very important and does some very similar things. But what I'd like you to do is take that, put it into your mouth and chew on it with your front teeth. You should get a fairly nutty, sweet taste. You go first.
All right.
And if you can, try to leave some of the seeds under your tongue a little bit. And after a while, you're going to notice that it gets very gel-like and gluten-y.
Oh, you're going to have that. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, luckily there's more.
Mm-hmm. Lots more.
And more flowers and plants to find, right?
Many more. There's lots out here.
Let's go take a look.
You bet. Ah, here's another great plant. This is yarrow. And this is another very important plant in terms of, I guess, survival and medicine more than anything. Sometimes we'll refer to this as a toothache plant. So it's very good as a pain reliever. One of the things that could kill you out here would be diarrhea. If you're already dehydrated and you have diarrhea, that's not a good situation for you. It doesn't taste all that delicious. You want to try some?
Yeah, I better.
Yeah, why not? Just take a small amount and chew on that. What you should notice as you're chewing on it,
it's much more intense in your mouth.
If we're looking at this plant, it makes a delicious tea. Believe it or not, I know that the taste of the leaf in your mouth was not all that great. It was very, very, very bitter. But when you make it into a nice light tea, it's got a very pleasant flavor to it. And you can mix it with pine needles, especially pine needles. They got that nice hint of lemon to them. And so it's a nice warming cup of tea, and psychologically that can be a real boost for you. I have two plants here I want to talk about that might be very helpful in that. And one of them is this plant right here. It's really fairly common within the Rockies. And this is known as bearberry or Arctostaphylos uva ursi. The leaves are extremely tannic, so if you were able to make a tea, it will stop the excess liquid that is within the digestive system. So you're not actually losing liquid, and in fact, you're going to take this as a tea and you will re-implement more liquid doing that. It is also extremely antimicrobial. So whatever may have caused your waterborne illness, you should be able to take care of it quite nicely with this plant. This is another very common plant that you'll find hanging in the trees in the forest. There's a variety of different situations it will take care of. It really is broad spectrum. So that's the outside of the plant. The inside of the plant, now I'm going to pull this apart, and it's a little bit tough to see, and I'll do my best to pull it apart and show you the inside core. And now there's a very, very, very thin, little tiny hair-like fiber right here, this little core. When you pull this plant apart, you know for sure you have the correct Usnea species. This is a very important thing to know. So not only is this a great identifier, it is also where the immune boosting properties of the plant works. So to use this plant, I would probably crush it between a couple of rocks, powder it up a little bit, turn it into a tea, and you want to let it steep probably 8 to 10 minutes before you drink it. Something critical to know about this plant, you need to make sure that it is on a live tree and the plant is alive. You'll know that because it feels, a really dead one is going to feel very dry and powdery and fall apart easily, and you won't be able to get that central core. So it's really important you get a live one. Aha, still hungry?
Yes.
Well,
Starving.
let's eat. We've actually got a pretty good amount of bunch berries all around us. And, well, here. Let's just try eating some. There you go. I'll give you 2.
Just like this?
Just stick them in. Now, there's a little, very small little stone in them. So you can spit that out. Not great to swallow, but won't hurt you either. But anyway, bottoms up.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm. This is the very typical shape of it. Sometimes you'll have these 4 leaves. Sometimes, like this one, you'll have more leaves coming off of it. But it's up off the ground. In the spring, you're going to find it just like this. There'll be no flowers to it, no berries, anything like that. And then you'll see some beautiful white flowers on it later on in the summer, and then of course it produces the beautiful berries.
Now, this is also the one you can do a magic trick with, right?
Yes, you want to try that magic trick?
Yeah, I sure do.
So go ahead and slice it through with your nail. You don't want to really pull it. You want to slice it through. And you should be able to pinch it all the way across.
All right, here's another one.
No, that is not bunchberry. Don't even touch that one. Just leave that one alone.
But it looks so good.
It does, yeah, and that's the nice thing about red berries is they look good and juicy. The problem is that this time of year, there is absolutely no foliage around it. This is not part of it. That's completely separate. So it's on its own. We have no foliage. We have nothing to really identify that berry with. And, you know, It has a lot of characteristics of what baneberry would have, which is deadly poisonous. So you want to be real careful with what you're touching. Ralph, I bet you didn't know that in the Canadian boreal forest we have enough ingredients to make bread.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm starting to believe that.
We need salt, sugar, yeast, flour, water, all of that kind of stuff. But we've got some salt in front of us right now, and it's one of the sort of safer ways to extract salt from a plant, and that is right here. This is getting a little past its season, but this is colt's foot. This plant was picked and it was rolled up into a ball and then encased in mud that had a lot of clay. And then that clay ball with the plant inside of it would then be thrown onto hot coals, and that would be baked until the mud was completely dried through. And when you broke that open on the inside of it, you would get this kind of grayish powder, and that has extracted all the salt from the plant.
So you promised me bread. What's
Yes.
next?
Well, we need some yeast now. And if I take this powder off of the tree, and it's kind of light right now, but I'm gonna wipe it on my pants because they're black. And you can see all of that powder. So this is not pollen, it's very white. This is yeast. It's also sun protection factor too, of 15. So, but this is where we get yeast from. The other thing is that we can actually get sugar from this tree. This is the aspen tree. Basically, if you take a look at the leaves, they're round, kind of almost the size of a loonie. So that's the aspen, or white poplar as we call it.
Okay.
And then this one over here very similar in many ways, but you'll notice the leaf is very different. You'll notice the leaf is really quite different. It's more of a
Spearhead.
spear point, really, yeah. Both of the trees have similar properties, but I call them the world's most perfect trees. And the reason why is because it's got the yeast on it. You can also tap this like a maple tree to get sugar out of it. The syrup is very sweet, but what makes it ultra perfect is the inner bark. If we were to peel that away, is a terrific painkiller. So if you can make bread, you can make beer, and you have the painkiller to remove the headache the next day. It's perfect.
It is perfect. So we did sugar, flour,
Yeast, water's everywhere. So we have all the ingredients. Let's go make some bread.
I'm starving.
Like I said, in a bind, you can harvest these cattails and pull out the root. And this starchy bit, boil it, not boil it, but you cook it in a fire, and much like a potato. I'm not gonna eat this one though.